And here we go, we've got our first crew of the day coming in on approach on the dock. And Cap, we can see him turning the wheels already. And that's never a good sign, especially with a twin, triple engine boat, either of those, quads. It doesn't matter. When you get above that one engine, typically this is our sign. If we see those engines moving versus somebody just using throttle power, it typically doesn't go that captain's way, but we're going to see how it plays out for this captain. But welcome back, crew, to the greatest show on earth, and that is the Miami Boat Ramps channel. I'm your host, Broncos Guru, and today we are down here visiting 79th Street. So Cap is slow rolling it in at least, which is a good sign. He's got plenty of people on board to assist to try and get this thing in. And here we go, Wifey up the gunnel, on the ready. And again, Cap, gotta just use those throttles, keep those motors straight, man. Too much is going on. And he's gonna wind up smacking the dock ever so lightly, but this is a beautiful boat to hit the dock no matter what. And they bounce back off. Fortunately, our guy's quick with the reflexes, gets the line out there, tosses it to Wifey, and she's gonna tie it, but she ties it loose. And they go with the stern toss as well. And here we go. She's playing that tug-of-war game to try and get it over. And wisely, our guy up front grabs that line as well and undoes it so they can try and get this one tight and pull it back in together. Always interesting with multiple bros on the boat, though, to see the ladies being the one who has to jump into action. Our guy's getting off now, but he could have definitely jumped in a little sooner, and she was the first one to go. No questions asked. Straight into it, getting it done. So our crew on approach. Again, Cap taking it easy, nice slow roll. Kind of a calm day down here. When I say calm, you can see the water's fairly calm. The leaves you see in the background aren't blowing a lot. It's not overly windy. And here we go. This crew, they're coming in on one, and they're off on their angle. So Cap's trying to correct to see if he can get it back around. But I'm curious how this will go, because one's a jet ski only dock. And security's been pretty good. Actually, I won't say bad. That's the wrong word. Good today about enforcing the dock rules on who's going where and doing what, making sure everybody's launching and retrieving from the correct docks. And Cap kind of leaves the helm. The boat winds up smacking the dock because of it. Probably should have stayed there. And they pull it back in again. And our girl, quick to jump off of this. My man buried the truck on this one. The exhaust is under the water. You can see the bubbles coming out. Makes me think the trailer's probably too deep as well, because it looks well below where the bow eye is on the boat, and you can see that the stern's floating and not grabbing. And that's typically one of your signs. If the trailer's typically placed right now, every boat's a little different. You're going to launch it just barely deep enough to where everything's gonna hold. So as I pull this boat up, even the stern's gonna grab it just a hair, just enough to where the boat's not drifting like we see here. And unfortunately for him, he's not done that. And he's gonna try winching it on, which means that they're likely gonna have some fun when they try pulling this out, making sure that it's actually level and on the trailer correctly. But I'm still surprised how deep he's buried the truck. I mean, half the tire deep. On one of the slickest ramps down here. But I can tell just by the way this thing's sitting, he's too deep with the trailer. The boat's not grabbed at all into the bunks. It is 100% floating here at this point. I mean, even him standing on the tongue, his feet are underwater. And I guess this is one way to get it done. Only using one line, motor into the dock, why not? I mean, not my method of choice, but if it works for you, go for it. Now, it might just be me, but something looks a little off here, but here's the really strange part of this one. They're launching. So they pulled in like this, which means whenever they left the ramp the last time, that's how they left it and just let it ride, I guess. But sometimes it doesn't matter. I can understand it being a little off, but that one just seems a little more than a little off. But let me know in the comments below. If you pulled out and saw your boat like that, would you have left like they apparently did? Because right here you can see they're launching. They're going to pull it off the trailer. Or would you probably have tried fixing it before you left the ramp and getting it back to right? Because that one was definitely a little crooked. And our crew looks like they're having a tough go of it today as these guys are towing somebody in. So Cap comes in with the soft touch on the tow, but as you already know, no brakes on a boat. So our crew that's being towed in, they're coming in hot to the dock no matter what. And my guy, foot on the bow rail, kicks it off and winds up jumping up. And winds up looking okay. They're pretty solid right here. And they look pretty much good to go. Well, trying to be good to go. Our guy's holding the bow rail, and he's got his girl here at the back getting the stern line ready. And it looks like they're switching it over, so at least they had it out and ready to go. Just were on the wrong side, but probably didn't know. So our crew here is waiting patiently for the right dock for them. And Cap's backing out, so I'm assuming he's decided which one he wants. A lot of play on that wheel, though. You can see those hands spinning quite a bit as he's trying to get this boat ready to dock. And again, a twin-engine outboard boat probably should not be spinning the wheel that much. But I guess we're going to find out here in a few moments. So Cap makes his approach in, turns in, bow first, has his girl getting the lines on the ready. I like the fender holder, man. I'm always looking for some ideas on ways to get fenders out of the way, and I like the location on that, even though it does kind of block that step over onto the transom. So he turned in. I thought he was going to be good, and now for some reason, we went off the pause, and we're going to hit the anchor right into the dock and walk it up. And of course, he's just going to leave the helm as we're doing this. So he goes up, grabs the line around, and now we're going to bounce back off. So he goes back to the helm, gonna bring her back under power. So he backs up, but that line again is attached on the bow now. So now he's got limited movement. And here we go, back in. A little bounce around action as he's gonna bounce off the dock. And he'll grab the stern line and try pulling it over. Starting to get a little late in the day down here at 79th, which means we're getting that late in the day traffic, as we've talked about many times down here. Once it starts getting a little later in the day, it really starts to get busy. In fact, after dark is one of the busiest times down here. So our guy down here holding two lines, trying to walk her up. And our guy kind of slinks his way off there as well. And we'll move over here. And this crew looks pretty solid also. Cap's trying to come in on the solo dock. Turns the engines versus just the power, and so he's going to come in a little hot on the backside because of that. And that bow kind of kicks out a little bit, but he's grabbing the pole and hanging on, trying to keep everything over. And he's got to be careful. Look how close that motor is to the dock. It's going to wind up hitting. So he grabs that line to try and pull that bow back in. We've got another crew launching on the other side. Look at how close they are to the ramp. And they're stuck. The reason they're close to the ramp is he's sliding that way. I just heard the tires spin. saw the tail of the truck spin toward the dock. You can hear him right there. You can hear the motors. And the guy who came in the solo dock is trying to talk to his buddies and offering them some advice on how to bring their vessel in. So it looks like they're going to go for a dock on 2. But Cap is struggling to get the boat over there. Well, and he can't go on 1. There's jet skis there, and it's a jet ski only dock also. Is he going to try and move over there? Or is it, man, that other truck is just spinning tires, bro. Gonna have to try and get a little bit of a running start or get some weight in the bed of the truck, maybe. There we go, getting somewhere. You know, it's tough on this one because you just kind of want to give her hell, gun the gas, and see what it does, but it's really not the play. A lot of times, slower is better. We don't want the rubber to break. We're trying to get grip and hold. And by gunning it, that doesn't always work. And our next crew comes in on approach. So Cap has, it looks like Junior up in the babble, and they came in, I think this might be Cap's daughter and her boyfriend in the bow. So he goes toward the dock. We're going to see boyfriend's skills at this one. And he's not gone for the grab yet. Cap's not really got him very close, though. And he definitely looks a little tense and apprehensive to go for it. Maybe Cap's trying to knock her in the water. He's like, you know what? I got my girl's man out here. My little baby girl's man. Let's have a little fun with this one. Because right here, Cap's backing off. He's trying to hang on for dear life. He doesn't want to be shown up in front of the father-in-law. But it's going to happen anyway. As Cap's backing off. Now, I'm wondering if he did that on purpose. So, Cap's going to back up and try and line this one up one more time. And go for a second loop around on it. So, boyfriend's going to get a second chance at redemption. Let's see how that goes. So, here we go. Round 2 on approach. And daughter's moving to the back of the bus. And he wisely is as well. I don't know if that was a command or they were like, let us just get the heck out of the way and let's let Cap play with it on his own. So Cap leaves the helm, of course. So why were we in reverse when they were up there trying to grab it? Now all of a sudden, Cap, we've got no issues. Doing it solo, on his own, not a problem. But when Junior was up there trying to do it, all of a sudden we wanted to be in reverse, trying to back off the dock. But Cap comes up here, winds up grabbing the pole, pulling the boat over, and doing the lines on his own. Again, making me wonder if this was not done intentional. Cap's like, yeah, you don't need to be with him. That's be the conversation later. Honey, you don't need to be with him. He can't handle a boat. You need to find another man. You know how it is, fathers and their daughters. But thanks for watching, crew. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Miami Boat Ramps. If you did, please check out our other content. We have Wavy Boats, who does a bunch of great things down at the inlets. My channel, Broncos Guru, does some great comedy boating videos there as well. And of course, we got Boats vs. Haulover, where man and machine take on Mother Nature down at beautiful Haulover Inlet. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button here.